Alright guys, I'm going to be reviewing the Conrad AC500-2. This one right here is the newest version out there, and if anyone is familiar with the older versions, you can tell that there are quite a bit noticeable differences. Model retails for $439 at most retailers, so with shipping I got it for $450, which is a great buy, especially for what you get with the model. There really aren't that many flaws. There's one or two flaws, but it benefits the model, but it also does take away. So to start the review here, I'm going to start it off by giving you the differences with the old version and the new version like you have here. The new version doesn't have the AC200 decals over here. They give you gray counterweights. The cab decals are a little different, and the best part about it all, and I'm sure many people will be happy about this, they give you metal sheaves on it for the boom head and for the woofer, which is a huge benefit because to upgrade them is like $50, and you don't really want to pay extra, but they gave it to you in the new version like you see here. And I like the gray weights because it splits up the model. But anyway, to get started with the review, the front, you can see your cab, not really too detailed. You can see on the inside, nothing special. Not like I look at the cab anyway, but you got all your warning labels, Terex decal, that actually is etched through. Warning lights up top, but one bad thing about it is there's no mirrors for it. As you can tell, there's no holes for the mirrors, so I mean, I don't know what they did there, but does it bother me? No, but since it is a review of it, I'm going through everything. So they don't give you any mirrors, but they do give you these cool warning lights, which I really like a lot. Going on to the side of it, the tires turn. They're all supposed to turn at once, but since it's so long, it is a little difficult. You can see the tires on them aren't completely flat. They did drill the hole out on the rim, which is really nice. The old version isn't like that, and the rubber on the tires is also very nice. I like it a lot, and the color just goes very well. Now, showing you the upper structure. Show you from above. You can see diamond plate texture. There's a lot of the crevices and a lot of places you have your exhaust. I guess you could store any type of rigging or hook blocks on here when you're rigging the crane, or to obviously service the engine below. A fair amount of detail. The paint is really nice as well. It's not too thick and it's not too thin, and it has a nice shine to it. Now, if you've seen in the unboxing this piece, and I had not a clue to what it was, but it holds the counterweight on, and that I will show you in a short amount of time, but I'm gonna go over all the wheels first. Now, these two axles I like best because they show the most because of their location, and they have the fenders over them, which is really nice. This one also, the back four turn as well. It's an 8-axle crane. You can see these axles in the back. They, like I said, they turn as well. The right side of the crane is exactly the same. There's really no difference at all. Now going to the Outriggers, which are also very nice. I'll show you how they fold in. They telescope in, and then they fold in. Now, and it did come like this out of the box. This one, the threading on the screw doesn't thread unless you pull it all the way down, and It's an easy fix if you just tap it out, which I'm gonna have to do. I'm guessing I'll fill it with or I'll try to fill it with a JB Weld or something, and then tap and die it. And the pad comes off the outrigger, which is really cool because it looks good like that when it's folded in with outrigger pad. And there is a spot on the pad. You could see that little line on the inside. On the bottom of the outrigger, there's almost like a flathead screw head, and you're supposed to line it up, but because then it'll snap in. But believe me, it is harder to do than it looks. And all the outriggers fold in. It's not a lot of work to fold in, but it'll take a little time for the review. So if you want to see what it looks like folded in, click the link in the description below. Now, to guide the outriggers in, these cylinders will push them in, and then these right here are the guides, and they pop right out. All they do is guide the outrigger in, like so. I mean, personally, I don't even think it needs those, but it has them on there, which is nice. Now, body of the crane turns. I'm gonna have to take the boom load off it. To come to the cab side, which is my favorite side because it looks really nice. So, starting with the cab, see, the cab is really, really nice. One thing I just don't understand is why there's a handrail there. But it's there, and I'm pretty sure, I want to say these are metal, because they feel like it, and they don't really, there's not too much movement in them when you bend them. The only bad thing about the cab is it does tilt, but there's no piston to hold it up, so it'll tilt and then it'll fall back down, which I don't know why they did that. It doesn't really matter to me. The only thing that I don't like is you could see it gets in the way of the outriggers when you swing, and below the cab, on the glass, there is a Terex logo. Detail inside the cab is alright. It's not like you could really see it much, but like I said, it is a review. Now, to remove the counterweights, they pop off and they're individually linked. So they just come off like that. And then you remove your tray by pulling out 2 pins, and it comes out. To install it, you have to go underneath it and then push up because there's tabs that it goes on. Now, like I said before, that piece, you can see that there's 4 holes or indents underneath, and they go right on there. And that's how you assemble it. And when you assemble it, you do left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, or vice versa. And I took off the counterweight tray to show you that the cab folds in when you transport the crane from job site to job site, which is cool. I like when the cab is folded in. That's what I mean by it gets caught. It gets caught on the outriggers because it's bent down when you do turn. Back of it is where the tray connects. You know, not really anything special. It is nicer than I thought, especially since it gets covered by the tray. And you can see right here is the winch for the hook. I like the winch, but I think they should have gave a metal key because it's really hard to spin, and you can't really spin like a full revolution at a time. You can only do like maybe a third, so it takes a while for the hook to come up if you have a lot of line on it. Diamond plate texture up top, and the right side of the machine, which is plain. That's why I really am not a fan of the right side of the crane. Counterweight's back on. You can tell it's just like, takes about a minute. really simple. And on the old version of this model, the tray and counterweights are white. Now, first notice it had metal sheaves. It's from these right here. This is where the line will come off for the bridle for the luffing jib, which I am getting, but I'll say that at the end of the review. Nice decals and really nice paint. I like the gray a lot. I don't know if I like it better than the white, but it's painted really nicely and the color goes really well with the crane. So I guess it's gonna have to grow on me, but it looks really nice gray. So I'm still in between if I like the white or the gray better. Now the boom, you can see I got 4 sections extended out. Is very large, and there's one problem. Well, there's 3 problems with the boom. One of them is actually a benefit, but it is a bad thing because it can damage the crane. You can see they put a ladder right there to get up top to service the crane. The cylinders that hold up the boom are very, very tight. And yes, it's a good thing, but it's also a very bad thing because it puts a lot of stress on the outriggers, and it can easily strip the threads. And once your outriggers are gone, the crane is pretty much useless because the outriggers hold up the crane. So I'm gonna have to get the YCC cylinders. They have threaded wooden Allen key, and you could adjust the boom to whatever angle. So it needs the YCC cylinders, not because these are too loose, it's because they're too tight. That's really the only bad thing about the cylinders. And the next thing that is not the best with the boom is this section right here. Takes a lot of pressure to pull out, almost where it feels like it's gonna break. It doesn't come out for anything. And the last section that I don't have out, when you push it in, some of the paint scrapes off because I guess it's too thick or the section's twisted or something. So I don't pull that one out. If we have to, yeah, whatever. But you gotta go really easy, and you gotta twist and bend it when it comes out. It's pretty difficult. But coming down to the wings, and the wings are these pieces right here, and they basically just increase lifting capacity. At first I wanted to take them off, but after having them on and extending them, it is pretty cool with them, but I really don't like it with them on. But might as well just keep them, keep them out, because it's too hard to push them back in, and I'll get to that in a second. It has the bars which hold them together. The other side has the same thing, and it leads up to the actual wing. And here is the drum that brings in the line that eventually runs up to the tip of the boom, and I will show you that in a second. The only bad thing about the wings is this piece right here. Naturally, when you push out the wings when you first get the model, you push them by these, but the only bad thing is when you push them by those, it puts a lot of stress on these cylinders, which is connected to a rivet right there, and they're plastic on the ends. So actually one of my rivets is starting to come out, so to push up the wings, I push by the cylinder, and if you don't do that, the wings may or may not break. So that's a really not a bad thing, but it's something to watch out for. And these pieces right here are for the sheaves up top, and I will show you that in a second. That noise is the cab going over the outriggers. Now, show you the head. Now here's the boom head. It's got the decal up top and on the sides, and you could see metal sheaves, which is awesome. Finally Conrad's making metal sheaves, and this is where the line comes down and it connects back into the wing. And here's the hook block they give you. So, really nice boom head. Overall, the model is definitely worth the money that paid for it, which was $450. So, the only thing that I want to get for it, like I said, are the cylinders and the luffing jib, because it just makes it look a lot better with the luffing jib. I'm not really a fan of it just with the boom. It almost like the luffing jib belongs with it. So I'm gonna get that very soon, along with the cylinders, because it definitely needs the cylinders. I don't want anything to break, and the luffing jib will just add a lot to the model. So there it is. It's the new version of the AC500-2. It weighs 10 pounds.